Hi guys, so I am just doing my makeup again, and I'm just going to talk about some thoughts I've been having and what I'm working on right now. And we just came off of a holiday, Thanksgiving, and it was awesome. It was really, really nice to step away from work and just hang out with family, so that was amazing, and I think I didn't realize how much I needed it. Something that I did last week was create a habit tracker. This is something I did years ago, probably 7 years ago, and I loved using it. Back then it was for the purpose of trying to do things on a daily basis, but now I do most of the things on a daily basis or regularly, but I would like to track how often I do them because I'm currently not giving myself any credit for it. So the habit trackers that I made are not for the purpose of doing them every day or perfectly or forming new habits. Some of them are, but most of them are things I already do. But at the end of the day, I just think, oh, I could have done more, or, it wasn't a good day, but in reality it was. So I started last week, and it's amazing how many things I have listed and how many things I'm checking off that I did in a day. And then after I check them all off, I feel so great. I'm like, wow, I did a lot. I can just sit down and relax. I don't need to keep doing more because I should feel, I am allowed to feel proud of myself for the amount that I did in just one day. So anyways, that's what I'm working on right now. And then some of them I listed things that I want to do for me, like Pilates or read a book, read the Bible, journal, write affirmations, watch a movie, or bake something, fun things that I genuinely want to do. I wrote those on, and I think it's been already really insightful to see that last week, the last 3 times that I did it, I hardly marked off any of the ones that were just for me. I did a ton of chores and I did a ton of stuff for my family, but for the ones that were purely for me, I did 1 or 2. And so I would like it to be more balanced. And my mood has been really down the last several months. We had a big move, and I moved away from my friends and my colleagues and the people that I would laugh with on a daily basis, besides my husband. I don't have that anymore. So I've been feeling very lonely, and I've been down on myself for not working harder and that sort of thing, which I'm doing so much, but so it's strange that I'm speaking to myself that way. Because a year ago, if I were to look at what I'm doing now, I would be blown away. I would be like, wow, you are doing a great job. Cooking meals, doing all the chores or most of the chores, and taking care of my son and my husband and our home and all the stuff. And then, still having my full-time job and all that stuff. So I'm doing a lot. And so today I printed out a habit tracker for the month. This is the start of the month. So I pinned it to the wall, and I'm going to start checking off when I do things each day so that I can see how much I do, and just acknowledge that I'm doing a good job, instead of always feeling like I need to do more or that my day wasn't good enough, because I really think I'm doing a good job, but I'm treating myself like a pile of dirt. So that is something I'm working through. And then this brings up some thoughts. I might do one of these for work. I do a lot for work. I manage a lot. I have done a really good job in my role, and lately I haven't been feeling that way. And so I think I might make a habit tracker to you know, track how many emails I send, how many agendas I make, you know, what am I doing? Because at the end of the day, I also don't feel proud, and I feel like I should have done more, I could have done more, which is just not the case, or, you know, it doesn't need to be. So I think I'll make a habit tracker for work, not for the purpose of doing things daily. I do things on a daily basis, I do a lot, but I'm not giving myself any credit for it again. So I think I'll do that to see that, you know, I'm allowed to give myself credit for work. And also, what I really like about this is to see like where my time is going. Like on one of the days that I did last week, I did like 4 loads of laundry, but I didn't do any of the stuff for me. Like I could have just done probably half and then done some things for me, but I didn't prioritize it. So it's also bringing awareness to me. And so for work, I think it'll help bring awareness to what I'm working on, what I'm spending my time doing. And if it's strategic, if I'm doing working smarter, not harder. So it's just bringing really good awareness, which I'm looking forward to. And then another thought that I had was making a habit tracker with activities for my ideal day. So everybody, well, there's a chapter in the Success Principles book by Jack Canfield, and it has like a principle regarding identifying what your ideal day is, or some part is in there. So you just think about like, what is your ideal day? And it's made up of a bunch of small activities, little things to make up a full day. So what are some things that you can integrate now into your day to make it more similar to your ideal day? And then what are some things you can start working on to bring, you know, in a few months, you can integrate this and that sort of thing. But I think I might make a habit tracker that has all of the small activities for my ideal day. Sorry, I'm just cleaning my glasses. So, for example, my ideal day starts with coffee and reading the Bible. So how often am I doing that? Like never right now. So this is not to create shame or regret if you're not doing those things right now, or if you make your habit tracker and then you still don't do it. It's not about creating shame. It's just about creating awareness around it. And because that's the first thing. If you don't notice, or if you don't know that you're never starting your day with coffee and the Bible, but that's what your ideal day is and how it starts, then you probably won't work on integrating that. But if you notice it and you take time to acknowledge it, then you'll probably work on integrating that more often. So I think I'll make 2 more habit trackers. One will be in my office where I work, and that'll be for work, just acknowledging how much I'm doing, where I'm spending my time. Do I need to ease off on the emails and work on more reports or that sort of thing? And then for my ideal day, like just acknowledging or thinking about how much contrast there is between my day now and my ideal day that I map out on my habit tracker. So I think that's some things that I'm going to work on. And today I did Pilates this morning, which is not something I usually do, and I'm really hoping that it'll boost my mood and help me to be, you know, just more upbeat and more clear-minded instead of down in the dumps in the pity lane. So really hoping that Pilates helps a lot today, and I'm not banking on that, or, you know, my thoughts also contribute to how today goes. So I'm going to try to be mindful of that. And just the biggest thing I'm going to work on right now is not shaming myself or feeling guilty. Often I feel guilty if I do anything for myself. So if I take 10 minutes away from work to read a book for myself because it fills me up, it makes me happy, and it's very calming and grounding. I love reading. Right now I'm reading Harry Potter. I'm on book number 4. I often feel guilty, even for that 10 minutes, which is silly because I show up for work, I work really hard, and I think part of that is I've made work my identity rather than having my identity in Christ and my identity in a wife, a mother, and who I want to be. It's like my identity is work. And, I make the money and I make, the reports happen and I make the meetings happen. And that is not healthy in my opinion. I think that's really something that's been skewed in my mind. And that's been kind of contributing to me not being motivated, me not being fulfilled, and me being very critical of myself because my identity I'm finding my identity in the wrong place. So I'm working through that. And for example, right now I'm getting a lot of emails, getting a lot of notifications. They just keep popping up, and work wants my attention and needs my attention, but this is really important to me to make this video. And I haven't started my workday yet. I'm logging on in a minute, and this is an 11-minute video. It's really not that detrimental, but I feel so much guilt because I'm not giving every minute to my job. And so that's something I'm really working through because my identity is not in my work. But that's how I'm acting. So that's something that I'm working through. I hope that's helpful to hear. I know my coach Sam has always shared about what she's working through and kind of her perspective on things. It's really helped me. And so I hope that this helps you. And I'll link the habit tracker in the video comments below, so you guys can take a look at what mine looks like and see if that resonates with you and if that will be helpful for you to track how many times you're doing those things, if you want reminders to do it more often, or if you just want to acknowledge that you're doing a good job, which is what I need to acknowledge right now. And then I even added a column on the side for rewards. I do not reward myself. I don't buy new things. I don't even get a nice cup of coffee from Starbucks, which I often like. And they have, the new pumpkin spice whatever and the Christmas caramel brulee latte, which are the best things in the world. Lots of sugar, but I really love them. Anyways, I just don't reward myself. If there's gonna be some kind of reward, it's for my family and not necessarily for me, solely me. It's for all of us, or it's just for them and I facilitate it, or things like that. So I even made a column for rewards. I don't know what that looks like yet, and I don't know what that looks like yet, but I will be working on that. It could just be 10 minutes of reading is my reward for doing a load of laundry or whatever, so I need to work through that a little bit. It doesn't always have to be spending money, but it could be going to the park, or I don't know, something fun. I'll think about it. Okay, well, I hope you have a lovely day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.